May I continue, Mr. Chair?
Please proceed.
And thank you for acceding to my request, Mr. Commodore. You just called me a traitor, sir. Nasa Facebook po, nasa social media.
Yes, sir. I didn't use the word traitor. Mr. Chair, with your permission.
Butit inulit mo, Commodore, bago ka sumagot doon sa tanong niyang Juan, patapusin mo muna yung legislator and then you wait until you're recognized by the chair, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Please proceed.
You said that you did not say that I am a traitor, but it is in the social media. Did you take an effort to clarify that so that you could not mislead people because they might believe that you have said that? It is only now that you are disowning this statement. Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair. Yes, sir. To the Honorable Marcoleta, sir. Let's put it on record. I did not use the word traitor in describing your statement that the West Philippine Sea ay kathang-isip lamang po. Let me read my post on X. I stand by the statement of President Bongbong Marcos when he said, ang West Philippine Sea ay hindi kathang-isip natin lamang. Ito ay atin, ito ay mananatiling atin hanggang nag-aalab ang diwa ng ating minamahal na bansang Pilipinas. Hearing someone claim that the West Philippine Sea is merely a fabrication of the Philippine government is a disservice and an embarrassment to their entire party, the organization he belonged to, and even their own family. How can the one face the younger generations today and tell them that our exclusive economic zone to the west of our archipelago is non-existent, effectively giving up the fight to assert their rights as Filipinos in the West Philippine Sea?
Mr. Chair, sinabi ko ba na kathang-isip?
Binigyan ng interpretation ng ibang vloggers at nasabi na traitor si Honorable Marcoleta. Ang tinatanong niya is, unang-una, alam mo ba ito na ganun ang nangyari? Would you know?
No, sir, because when it became a social media popular post, I was not here in the country. I was actually in the official business outside.
So when did you come to know about this?
I only came to know about it when Congressman Marcoleta called me gago and mangmang in one of his interviews.
So when was that?
During his interview last February 10, huwag tayong magpagago at magpaka-ignorante katulad ng Commodore na yan.
So, at that point in time, ang tinatanong kanina ni Honorable Marcoleta na merong misinterpretation doon sa iyong statement sa social media.
Yes, sir.
And you did not bother na i-correct man lang yun. Yun ang dinadrive ni Honorable Marcoleta kanina pa.
Yes, sir.
So, please answer that question. You did not do anything.
I did not do anything, sir.
Okay.
Why? Why did you not do anything?
It's because, sir, if I'm going to keep on defending to any, because one,
No,
as
no,
I
no.
said, yeah,
You are not supposed
Yes.
to defend me.
Yes, sir. Because
if
as I
it is
said-
true, Mr. Chair, that he did not call me traitor, but it continues to be there and to be consumed by the public through the social media. I think it is his responsibility to deny it if it did not come from him. That is all I was asking. And I think this is not too big for him to do. Yun lamang eh.
Yeah, but he admitted that he did not do anything.
Yun na nga. That's why I'm asking why. Is it not important to you to correct something that did not originate from you?
it's because, Mr. Chair, the only time I learned about that was when I heard about your interview calling me gago and mangmang. Why would I even defend you if you're calling me gago? as a commissioned officer of the Philippine Coast Guard, being a spokesperson, calling me mangmang, not knowing what I'm saying.
But actually, if you will read that context,
How would I even
the
defend
act of
you?
doing it
Sandali,
is the
sandali.
one that is
Papatapusin mo
gago.
muna
Di
siya.
ba? Yung ganun, not necessarily the person eh. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, kung kinorek mo man lamang yun, because it continue to be there in the social media, Mr. Chair, yun ang nakakasama sapagkat people, mamamatay siya because from you. Tatagalan talaga. Ganon siguro yung proseso. So yung pong mga ibang vloggers, Commodore, hindi nila ma-recognize. Kaya example ko kanina, ginugoogle, wine-waste ni Congressman Barbers, yung kalye na nirehistro, na ginagawa-gawa lang ni Congressman Paduano, hindi po niya makita. So nagkakaroon ng confusion doon. The tendency to be misinformed proceeds from the fact na hindi pa talaga na ipatala, sir. That's the only point, Mr. Chair. Ngayon, kung babalik po sa Google, Mr. YouTube, ito kumakalat, lumalakad, but you're not doing anything to control this. So, ang daming, ngayon, nagbabas sila sa akin, oh, si Marcoleta, pro-China. Ngayon, may lumitaw na naman through your platform. Lahat po ng senador na kagrupo ni ganito, lahat po sila ay pinopondohan po ng China. Nandito ngayon. I will show it to you before you leave, sir, na lumilitaw na naman dito. So kasama po ako doon sa grupo na yon na pinipinance ng China. Ganun po eh. So it becomes now an election misinformation that will impact on the credibility of the election. Maaring mamislead po na naman ang mga tao. Yun po yung ating gustong ayusin. Yung misconception and misinformation. Lumitaw lamang po kasi sa kawalan ng information na hindi pa po natin naipatala, Commodore. Hindi pa nakatala talaga officially. Tayo-tayo po, walang problema eh. Kung tayo-tayo lang. Sapagkat yung bahagi na yun ng ating karagatan, may pangalan man yan o wala. Sabi ko nga sa'yo kanina, tayong dalawa, ilaban natin yun hanggang sa huling patak ng ating dugo. Atin yun at walang makakapagpabago nun. Ang problema, nagkakagulo tayo because of that misconception. Walang masamang tinapay doon, Mr. Chair. I want to explain that. Ngayon, ako nagpapasalamat ako sa'yo at sinabi mo ngayon at naliwanagan na hindi mo pala sinabi yung I am a traitor. So salamat kahit nahuli. Sabi nga natin, Mr. Chair, huli man daw at magaling. Nayahabol din. Kaya lang ang problema ko ngayon, Mr. Chair, yun pong kumakalat na akala nila sinabi mo. At lumaki nga, sapagkat siguro, dahil medyo nasaktan naman ako, nakapagsalita ako ng wag nating depensa ng sariling atin na magiging emotional tayo o kaya nagpapakagago tayo. So, kaya lumaki ng lumaki dahil lamang doon. But the context, Mr. Chair, the context is gusto nating huwag gamitin ang misconception or misinformation, lalo na ng mga vloggers, sa lahat po ng bahagi o aspeto ng ating buhay. Ang West Philippine Sea ay atin, Commodore.
Yes.
Because this is the exclusive economic zone of the country. And there is no changing that fact. Kahit anong magbali-baligtarin natin ang mundo natin, atin ito. Kaya lang ipatala po natin yung pangalan para po hindi gamitin sa misinformation. Mr. Chair, thank you very much.
Well, I think we have seen one of the ill effects of misinformation. I think everybody will agree to that. That is one of the ill effects of fake news or misinformation. Would you agree? Yes. So, next time, kasi hindi ako nagbabasa kasi sila mga ganyan eh. Para hindi ako apektado. Yan ang ko. Yes, Honorable Marcoleta, please proceed.
Colonel, did
Commodore.
Okay. Commodore, you graduated from the Philippine Military Academy?
No, sir. I'm 3 weeks short of my graduation.
Would you like to say, or you would like to explain why you did not succeed in graduating from that great military academy?
Yes, Mr. Chair. As what the chairman, General Acob, knows, we have the honor code among the Cadet Corps Armed Forces of the Philippines. I was charged of cheating with other 7 of my classmates, and it was a gentleman's agreement. If you violate the honor code, you formally file your resignation, and then you just leave, sign the clearance, and get out of the Philippine Military Academy. And that's 3 weeks before my graduation, sir. I never insisted because I respect the honor code.
But did you violate the honor code?
Yes, sir, we did. That's why I resigned for the good of the service.
Okay, but that's not my question. We need to defend our exclusive economic zone with all our might and with all our life, because it is ours. Hindi lamang yung EEZ, merong continental shelf, territorial sea and all this. These are maritime rights, which even the UN Convention of the Law Sea recognizes. We had an award, yung arbitral award between the Philippines and China, and the subject matter is the South China Sea. You know that,
Yes,
I'm sure. In that particular award, the tribunal ruled that the Scarborough Shoal is a traditional fishing ground.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you studied that. Traditional fishing ground proceeds from the traditional fishing rights, or TFR, which is a private right fully recognized under public international law.
Yes, sir.
You agree?
Traditional fishing ground.
And in that award, the tribunal said, well, the Vietnamese, the Chinese, and the Filipinos can freely fish in that area because it is a traditional fishing ground. Mr. Chair, I think the good Commodore and the rest of the agency that is bound to protect our fishermen could have started along that line. Because a traditional fishing right is a private vested right. It does not concern territory. Sa aking palagay, Mr. Chair, mas magandang maging magandang simula yun. Let's talk to China. And I believe China will recognize the traditional fishing right. Because in the year 2000, I will remember that they had an agreement with Vietnam in the Gulf of Tonkin. If you will study that. Nagkaroon sila ng agreement, and they divided that fishing ground among themselves. Something that we can also do para hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng girian. Pinag-uusapan lang naman dyan are the living resources in this particular area. Bakit hindi po natin binibigyan ng emphasis? Why don't we initiate something positive along that line? We had that tribunal ruling. Sabi niya, it is a traditional fishing ground. Bakit hindi natin sila kausapin on that basis? Marami tayong jurisprudence, international jurisprudence. In 1974, pag-aralan po ninyo, Mr. Chair, yung mga maritime cases that was ruled by the tribunal. Yung case ng Federal Republic of Germany against parang Holland, and also Great Britain against Holland. Yung alam po ninyo, yung ruling is the same. Kahit siya yung merong reference doon sa sea na yun, it cannot exclude the rights of the other coastal areas to fish sapagkat they invoke the traditional fishing right. I am asking, Mr. Chair, why no initiative has been taken along that line?
Mr. Chair. Yes, sir. To Honorable Marcoleta, it's beyond my pay grade to explain why our strategy is not in alignment with that fishery agreement in Bajo de Masinloc. And it's also worth mentioning that the Philippine Maritime Zones Act highlighted that Bajo de Masinloc and its territorial seas we have sovereignty and sovereign rights over these waters. So on our level, in the Philippine Coast Guard, we cannot go against to the enacted law of the Congress, much more to the national security and foreign policy direction of the President.
I am not saying that it is within your pay grade to discuss it with the Republic of China. What I'm saying is maybe because you are a member of the Philippine Coast Guard, you could have talked to the other agencies of government higher than you that we could be initiating this along this line. Because we can take advantage of that particular tribunal's decision. Hindi ba? Pwede naman natin gamitin yun eh. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, ang daming cases, maritime cases, disputes ruled by the same tribunal. Oh, ito. Gamitin natin because they are all involved traditional fishing rights. Eh, yung arbitral award natin eh, sinabi nga that the Scarborough Shoal is a traditional fishing ground. So, sinasabi ko lang, pwede tayong mag-initiate along this line because we are backed up by the award. And another, Mr. Chair, have you read the entirety of the UNCLOS?
Not the entirety, sir. I won't pretend that I have, even if I read, I'm not a lawyer. I have a PhD in international relations, but I'm not a legal person. So I won't claim that I fully comprehended the contents of the entire UNCLOS.
Understood. Okay, so what about the aspect of that particular UNCLOS document that relates to the particular maritime area that is now called South China Sea? The South China Sea is a semi-enclosed sea. Did you find in the UNCLOS the significance of a semi-enclosed sea? I think it is under Article 123 of the UNCLOS. Kung tinatanong ko lang, sir, kung nabasa mo lang.
Mr. Chair, I'm not the proper resource person to respond to this kind of question, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, because I am raising that particular issue because if the most responsible agency will look at it, there is a connection on how we should approach the entire problem because the entire South China Sea is a troubled sea. Kaya dapat inaaral natin, saan kaya tayo magsisimula? Ano kaya ang magiging basihan sana natin to approach this issue? Because if you will look into the definition of a semi-enclosed sea, which is under Article 123, makikita natin doon, Mr. Chair, na yung palang mga coastal states. Kasi tingnan po ninyo, imagine it, on the north, nandun po yung China, on the east, nandyan ang Philippines, on the west, nandyan ang Vietnam, southern part, nandyan ang Malaysia. Kaya, at meron din Taiwan on the north. Kaya tinawag po siya sa UNCLOS, Mr. Sen, na semi-enclosed sea. What is the significance of the semi-enclosed sea? Sinasabi po ron, pagka po yung body of water is a semi-enclosed sea, lahat po ng coastal states has the responsibility to coordinate, to cooperate in the exploration, the research, development of that area. We can utilize that as the cornerstone of our defense na. Oh, sinasabi pala rito, dapat cooperative ang approach. Hindi sa'yo yan. Kasi even in the description of the sea, tayo-tayo dapat nagko-cooperate. So, sinasabi ko lang ito, Mr. Chair, because of the complications and the complexities of the South China Sea. Kaya po, kahit na konti lang ang panahon, gusto ko makakontribute na ito po ang dapat nating pagsikapang aralin. So maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair, sa inyong pasensya sa akin na medyo nagtagal para ipaliwanag lang ng konti, alang-alang po sa pagkaunawa nating lahat. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.